honest, not everybody makes it back from a relapse. And
Yeah.
that's the sad reality. If I relapse today, the chances are I'm not coming back.
It's the thought of where would you be today if you didn't have recovery?
Definitely.
I think I know the answer.
Yeah. I've definitely got no relapse in me, but I ain't going to recovery.
Yeah,
I cannot do all this again. I cannot go through all that pain at the beginning.
Here we go, Keith. Relapse isn't part of recovery, it's fucking lack of recovery. But it's true though, isn't it? Welcome to episode 4 of the Reflections House Recovery Podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about understanding what it is to be an addict and to get inside of the mind of an addict. And we've got a special guest with us today who is not an addict, so we get their side of the story too. So we're just going to go around the room and introduce ourselves. My name's Jacob, and I'm an addict.
I'm David, and I'm an addict.
I'm James, I'm an addict.
I'm Ben, and I'm not an addict.
Okay, so what we're going to talk about first is what it means to be an addict. So stuff we want to talk about, lads, yeah. What it's like to be an addict and the difference between a non-functioning addict and the differences, between the addict and the non-addict.
What do you mean, to be like an addict? Do you mean in active addiction, or do you mean in recovery?
Well, that's the thing. It's open to interpretation, that. So we can talk about both. You know what I mean? So because we've done both, haven't we? Well, us three have. Yeah. We've been in active addiction. I was in that for many years, nearly a decade and a half. Because you're quite old. It's got a lot of decades, isn't it? You know what I mean?
You're quite a while.
Yeah, you're quite old and all, aren't you? So.
Should we say what does it mean to be addicted to something? What does that mean?
To be addicted to something, it's like you're a slave to something. Yeah.
Yeah.
All I thought about when I got up in the morning, if I got up in the morning, my entire focus was just to get drugs. By hook or by crook, I'd step over here just to get drugs.
And it didn't matter who I had to hurt in the process.
Yeah.
If you was in the way, you was getting moved. If you had something I wanted, I was taking it. And it was just the obsession and just complete powerlessness of it, weren't it? I didn't want to do half of it.
I think a lot of people as well kind of focus on the drugs and alcohol aspect as well. Yeah. It's kind of a behaviour, isn't it? So you can be addicted to anything.
Yeah.
It's not just drugs and alcohol.
Gambling,
sex,
women, men,
food.
Yeah.
For me, it's my addiction primarily was drugs, but for me, addiction is anything that a man or woman does repeatedly to the point where it starts to dictate, censor and control their lives.
Our friend, sorry to interrupt you, our friend, I'm not going to say his name, but he was an addict, wasn't he? And then he found the gym, didn't he? Yeah. And he started relying on that all the time. Yeah. And he had to cut it out, didn't he?
His addiction was manifested in other ways.
Yeah.
An obsession, if we teach people, don't we, James? I mean, you don't. I mean, you. Yeah. Sorry.
That's my sponsor, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
An obsession pushes out all other thoughts. That's all you think about all day. So if you come to reflections for your drugs, and then you replace that with the gym, and all you think about is the gym 24/7, then your addiction is just manifesting in ways.
Yeah.
It's just the same behaviours, but not with drugs.
Well, it was like myself when I started buying watches. I went through the phase of buying watches, trainers, hats. I put the drugs down and...
It's that addictive personality, it doesn't just go away when drugs start.
I still wanted to fill that void within me, and how I filled that was with external things. And
that's why I kind of stay away from like energy drinks and things like that as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can get very addicted to that.
Yeah.
So what's so you just mentioned a functioning addict and a non-functioning addict. What's the difference between?
I were a non-functioning addict, me. I know what a functioning addict is. Functioning alcoholic, the people who can go about the jobs and the family life and just sort of blend in their addiction.
Yeah, I don't agree with the functioning.
I know either. See, for me, if you're saying you're functional, you're in denial.
I'm sooner or later, if that person's functioning and keep holding a job down and the family don't know about it, sooner or later they're going to step up. They're going to do.
It's going to lose everything. It will just take longer.
It's just a yet, isn't it?
Yeah. Different rates of sickness for different rates of people. what I mean?
From what I understand, I thought that everyone starts as a functioning addict. I thought you start taking whatever you're doing that you get addicted to, and then it starts to take over your life, and then as soon as you run out of money, you can't sustain that life. That's when it turns into a non-functioning addict. That's what I understood.
Yeah, I suppose in the early days, for me, I was smoking a bit of weed, drinking a little bit of cider in the park with my mates. I suppose that you could count that as functioning. It was just the early days before it got a grip of me.
Yeah.
See, whereas I'm different, because for me, as soon as I picked up that spliff, and it shut all that noise down in my head, straight away I had that obsession and that compulsion.
Yeah, but your life didn't become unmanageable with that first spliff, though, did
Oh
it?
no, my life was already unmanageable.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for the people who don't know, I know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. If Ben who don't use drugs and as a drink every now and again, brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
yeah.
Once it's not a problem for him. He has a drink every now and again. Pint at Christmas. You know what I mean?
Whereas we can't.
That's not a functioning addict, though, is it?
No,
It's just a normal. Well,
Yeah.
not normal, are you? But it's just an everyday
Occasional.
as a drink at Christmas with his mates.
Yeah.
Whereas me, when I start, I can't stop.
That's it.
If I were to go out drinking with him, which I would never do, right? But if I were to go out drinking with him, he's had a couple of tetly smokes and he's gone home.
By 8 p.m.
Yeah. Me, I'm in cells. Me 4 days later.
2 years later.
Once I start, I cannot stop.
Which leads me to the next topic, which is kind of what causes addiction. So what's the difference between me and you? Why can I have a drink and be fine, whereas you've got to have another and another and another?
They've been arguing this for whether you're born an addict or you've learned it. I don't know. All I know is that I am an addict, and I've just been talking to one of my colleagues upstairs, and we were talking about somebody having trauma when they were a kid, and then we said no wonder they use drugs. That was a horrible life is just that. But then we were also talking about somebody who had a perfect life.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I think it's a combination of things. I don't know. They've been arguing this for time at the gym for a long time.
What do you think, James?
For me, it was just the love of escaping reality.
Yeah.
That's what caused me to be an addict. That escapism.
Yeah.
You know, the
quiet of the noise.
Yeah. You know, I never wanted the confidence it gave me as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it is without parallel to anything I've ever experienced. The confidence I've got on drugs to what I got off them was just no comparison. It was just there, you know, and it took me a while. When I stopped using drugs, it took a while for that confidence to come back. And today I still struggle with it, but in active addiction, it was the fact that I didn't have to, I wasn't able to express feelings. I didn't have to, you know what I mean? I didn't have to, there was no responsibilities. And I wanted to shy away from responsibilities. I wanted to have none and just think about myself all day, every day. And I think that's what it was with me, you know. It was just a way to escape and just not take any form of responsibility.
I was watching, I think it was an episode of QI or something on telly, years and years ago, and Lee Mack jokingly said, I used to drink until the screaming in my head stopped. And that hit a chord with me.
Yeah.
That's why I used to drink till all the noise quieted down.
Yeah.
The screaming stopped.
Some people say it's genetic as well. What do you say to that?
I don't agree with that. I think this because my dad's an alcoholic, but I'm a drug addict. So I think there's some genetics get passed on, but I don't think the genetic of addiction can be passed on.
Do you not think that's more learned behaviour?
Yeah.
Your role models. You've seen your role model do this.
Yeah. Definitely.
So you know what I mean.
But both my parents were big drinkers when I was young. Me and my sister were young. I turned into a raging addict, and she didn't. You know what I mean? So, she was like a drink when she was at college and that, but she never carried it on like I did.
I think what the problem is, right, there's a lot of rumor now, you tit for tat way, what causes addiction, are they born with trauma and stuff, but the problem we've got with this is we're trying to fix a problem that is a spiritual problem, in my eyes, with science, and the two just don't go together.
There's no chemical,
you know what I mean?
Into a spiritual
you
problem.
know, and there's no real, I don't think there's any real, solid theory of what causes it. All that matters is that us people sat here and many people watching this are addicts now. And it's a choice you've got to make, whether you're going to be an addict at an active addiction or you're going to be an addict in recovery, like us. But now I've fixed that spiritual problem through practicing the 12 steps of Alcoholics Anonymous every day. It don't matter now, because I don't want to use that desire to use as gone.
I don't need to know why I'm an addict, I just need to know I am.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no point.
Yeah.
People have been, like I keep saying, and I've said it a few times,
Yeah.
they've been arguing this for a long time. The fact is, I am an addict,
Yeah.
and I have to do certain things every day.
Yeah.
I have to pray, I have to meditate, I have to take inventory, I have to try not to be an audible person. And if I'm an audible person, I apologise for it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, and then I try to help other people as well. That's just what I've got to do. And I don't have to worry about living in a bush shelter anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to worry about living in the bush. I don't have to, when I get up in the morning, I don't think about when we're going to get my drugs from today. Oh, where am I going to get money from for drugs? I don't think about that anymore. Because I know I'm an addict, and I know I can't have one. Because once I have one, I can't stop.
So don't question
Simple as that.
Yeah.
Once I have one, I cannot stop. You're the same.
Yeah.
You're the same.
Yeah.
Ben's not.
And the thing is when I have one, the fear kicks in, right? Because I know what's coming next, and I know I've got to keep using to not rattle. Because anyone who's experienced withdrawal, it's horrible.
Yeah. We all have, haven't we?
And the fear of that keeps me using, because I don't want to feel that physical pain. But then it's added fear as well, because I'm always looking over my shoulder.
Yeah.
I'm always on the run. I'm at risk of
Yeah.
going in and out of jail again, in and out of police cells, and I'm depriving myself of drugs. So it's an whole element of things, It's not just one thing per se, I think.
Trying to understand as someone that's not an addict, yeah. So you've all been sober for years now. You've been sober for 6 years, nearly 3. How long?
18 months.
Yeah, that long. If you were to pick up one beer or something now,
But it would be exactly the same as I left 6 years ago. It would be exactly the
just
same.
even because you've got all that clean time,
Yeah.
would it be the exact same?
Worse.
Just because I know a little bit now about recovery, don't mean I'm immune to it. I'm not cured.
Yeah.
Listen, if I put that one in, I'll be back in jail.
I think that's something.
yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
You're all right,
I think that's something that people like me don't understand is recovery is not just I've done 12 steps. I can go have a pint now or something.
If only that was the case.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If only that was the case. But
I mean, I'm inclined to agree with you with this, James. You see a lot of addicts who've got multiple years clean in recovery.
Yeah.
They'll relapse on something like opiates or alcohol, and they'll be dead before you know it, because the tolerance is just so low. Because they've had a period of abstinence.
But that's the physical thing as well.
Yeah.
Some people think because they've got 2 or 3 years clean, that they can just have 1 pint.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're just having. Before they know it,
And
they're worse than ever before.
Yeah, for me, I know if I pick up today, the minimum I'm out there is 2 years, because I've gone on this 2-year cycle thing where I was in recovery in 2017, I relapsed, I went back into recovery in 2019, relapsed, went back into recovery in 2021, relapsed, and then I came back in 2022. But for me, I know if I pick up, I've got at least 2 years before I even think about coming back into recovery, and that's 2 years of pain, 2 years of.
It's not even the physical; it's the mental as well.
Yeah.
No, you found a way out.
Yeah.
But
It's not worse than having a head full of
shame in
and a head
it,
full of
yeah.
addiction.
Yeah.
It's horrible. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've got a lot of nice things in my flat. I probably could last a little bit of time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could
Bit of
have
money in the bank.
I've got a bit of money in the bank. I've got some stuff in my flat I could sell. I could probably get a few months out there. You know what I mean? But it's only a matter of time before I don't pay my rent.
Yeah.
And I get them notices through doors and you got to go. You know what I mean? And then I'm back on the streets.
And then back in jail, because you want somewhere to go.
Yeah.
You want somewhere on them winter days, don't you?
Days like this.
Yeah. -5 last night.
Yeah.
I'm not staying on the streets. I'm deliberately getting locked up or put in jail, mate. I want 3 hots and a cot, you know. And
True, lads.
If so, all of you have had experience in relapse.
Yes.
If you
I
have,
am.
Yeah.
I am.
sorry, you two have.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Not perfect. I'm far from really perfect.
If you had a message to someone that's just relapsed now, to try and save the 2 years of shame, guilt, and pain, what would it be?
Get to a meeting.
don't let the pride and guilt eat you alive.
Yeah.
Do not allow the ego to keep you out there any longer than today.
You're saying if you've relapsed, get straight back into recovery.
Straight back in. Straight back on the horse. Which is easier said than done.
It is.
Because you need the desire I had 6 years ago, I might not get back again. The desire I wanted a better life, because I've got, like I said, I've got some nice stuff in my flat. I've got a little bit of money, not much, but I've got a little bit of money in my bank. Where am I going to get that desire from? I was out on the streets.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was on the streets.
And the thing is people who relapse, not everybody makes it back from a relapse. And that's the sad reality. If I relapse today, the chances are I'm not coming back. You know what I mean?
Because you've got that far, haven't you?
Yeah. You know, no, what I mean by not coming back is I may not ever get the chance to come back. It could kill me. You know, if my tolerance is that low, if I picked up today and I had a hit today, the chances are I'm going to overdose. And, you know, it's going to take my life. So I'm never, if I relapse, I may never get the chance to come back. And
we know many people. We know many people that's died.
Literally, one was buried the other week. Just last week, you know, and that's the sad reality of it. We're playing with lives, our own life, Russian roulette, as we say, innit?
It's evil. Addiction, it's evil.
One thing I'll say is, I'll go on the positive story. People get back into recovery. The key thing I've learned in recovery is the program gives you a mental defence against the first one. I know if I was to put that first one in, I'd be out there for God knows how long. So just bear that in mind by practicing the 12 steps. If the 12 steps is what you choose for recovery, you've got a mental defence against the first one.
Don't put that first
one.
That
is the one that counts, innit?
We'll not put that one in.
Yeah. The first one is the one that counts.
I promise you, it will not be different this time. I promise you, it will not be different. Don't even try it.
So you have a choice on the first one as well. After the first one, that's it. You don't have any choice.
Do not put the first one in. I've definitely got another relapse in me, but I ain't going to recover. I cannot do all this again. I cannot go through all that pain at the beginning. Again. I'll have a comfortable life for me now. Enjoy the peace and serenity.
Some of the best lives. It
might be boring for people to look at, but I have a good laugh. I go on holiday abroad, we go all over the world, don't we? And that's all gone. Just do not put that first one in. And if you're thinking about putting that first one in, talk to your sponsor. Talk to somebody that'll talk you out of it. Just don't do it. That's the only advice I can give you. Don't do it.
And the thing is, if I put that first one in me,
game over.
Because I never know what I'm going to use, who I'm going to use with, how I'm going to use it, how much I'm going to use. You know what I mean? And before I know it, you know, my head is just full of self-criticism, you know what I mean?
You can't do this. I knew you'd fail. That's what your brain will tell you. I knew you were going to fail.
And it's, you've just got to keep talking. You know, because living inside my own head, you know, it's the most dangerous place to be.
There's an old saying in it, and most people have heard it, that if my worst day in recovery is better than my best day in addiction.
Yeah, it is true. I use that phrase quite frequently.
It's an old phrase now. I didn't make it up.
I didn't make it up either.
No, definitely didn't.
It's a good phrase though, isn't it? It's true.
If you're thinking, just put your head in your pillow tonight, sober, and you've made it, you've done it, you've achieved it, you've done it.
So one day at a time.
One day at a time,
Every day clean is a miracle for me. Every day.
If you'd have known me out there in active addiction, you would never have thought I'd get clean. You would never have thought I'd be 6 years clean. You would never have thought it.
If one thing I like to say, I quite get comfort in this phrase and all what I'm going to say now, is if you can get through the day, an addict in recovery, and it's been a pretty reasonable, easy day, easy going, and put your head on the pillow at night and you're still clean, then you've had a good day. But if you can get through a day and you've had a lot of problems arise, a lot of bad things have happened, and you still put your head on the pillow at night and not use, you've had an even better day. Even though it doesn't seem it at the time, you've got growth. You've got growth there.
You know you can go through that stuff again.
You've gone through challenges, what life can throw at you, and you've still put your head on that pillow at night clean. Yeah. You've done fucking amazing. You have.
That's what it is, isn't it? It's easy to stay sober when everything's going your way.
Yeah.
But that's how people. Well, I don't know. I'm asking. Is that how people relapse when challenges? You know what I mean?
Some people use it as an excuse.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, I'll stomach trouble as I've used. But some people do use it as an excuse. And some people don't use it as an excuse. Some people generally do use when something bad happens. And I think that's just I don't even know what is that lack of program.
Yeah. You always say to me in his thick Barnsley accent, you go, Keith, relapse isn't part of recovery, it's fucking lack of recovery. But it's true though, isn't it? As harsh as that fact is, it's true.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you just do what's suggested in recovery,
if you're,
you'll be fine.
If you're telling people that relapse is a part of recovery, then you're killing them.
Yeah.
You're killing them.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
Relapse is not part of recovery, it's a lack of recovery.
It's part of my story. But it's not part of my recovery.
But that's true, that, yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I've got an interesting question for you.
Go on.
Oh dear.
If you could change anything in your life, in your addiction, would you?
No.
Alright, fair enough.
Absolutely not.
What's the reason? Why not?
Because I won't be sat here now.
I wouldn't. It wouldn't make me who I am today.
No, exactly.
What do you mean? Why not?
Because who I am today.
What if you told yourself not to pick up that first drug?
I want to
No,
listen.
I wouldn't be able to do that.
I want to listen to me.
Because I didn't know the consequences back then. So obviously I wouldn't be able to tell myself don't pick up because you're going to be an addict and you're going to go through 28 years of misery. It's my brain couldn't compute that.
If I could go back in time and talk to me and myself, I'd say I know you're not going to listen. I'll just be waiting for you to end.
Yeah. And that's it. And that's it for me. My younger self prepared me for my older self. My older self now loves my younger self.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And protects. And we that's it.
I've gone through a lot of pain and misery in my active addiction, and that's made me who I am now.
Made you the man you are today.
That's I don't want to ever go back there. So that's a good step one. I do not want to ever do that again. So I will not pick up that first one. I do not want to go back to that again. It was horrible, cold, lonely.
Yeah.
Nobody liked me. I was always on the outside looking in.
Hopeless.
Now I'm on the inside looking out.
Yeah. Complete hopeless, helpless, useless.
Yeah.
Never want to experience that again. That's where I like the term God. Yeah, because God means grow or die to me. I either grow in my recovery or I die in my disease. You know, and today I'm not up for dying. I'd rather grow and grow daily. You know what I mean? And I do that by following the 12 steps.
Yeah. And it's not hard. The 12 steps not hard.
No, it's not.
Just a few requirements.
Yeah.
Pray and maintain. Just try and be a nice person. Love and tolerance of others, I could. Just
Wholeheartedly met a few simple requirements.
Yeah.
It's the thought of where would you be today if you didn't have recovery?
Definitely.
I think I know the answer.
I'd not.
Or at the very best, you'd still be
Use
the
it.
same person. Yeah, still the same person you are, wouldn't you?
At the very best, I'd be dead.
I'd be dead.
Yeah.
Listen, before I stopped using, I was contemplating taking my own life.
Yeah.
I had no desire to live before I came back into recovery. My only desire was to die.
I'd only got a couple of weeks left before I walked up the stairs there. Yeah.
And what a relief. And as soon as we walked up the steps, we both said the same thing. I'm home.
Yeah.
I just knew.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just knew. And that was it.
Addiction is just suicide on the instalment plan.
That's it. Yeah.
Eventually it will kill you. Eventually. Yeah. And nobody gets out alive. Yeah.
So is it slow suicide, isn't it? You're slowly poisoning your body.
It's just suicide in installments.
Yeah. Installments, yeah.
One day you will die.
You know, and as much as it
that would have been a relief to me.
Yeah.
When I woke up every morning and I was still alive, I used to hate the fact that I woke up.
I used to pray for it at night time. You know what I mean? And then be gutted and guilty that I woke up.
Yeah. Knowing that you've got to do all that same thing again.
Yeah.
All that to get through that day, then you've got to go out and do this, that and over to
Got to hurt
God
more
knows
people.
who. Yeah, you've got to hurt more people.
You know, people that that you don't want to, but
no.
your disease just takes over, and it's just not. It's not.
The need of drugs just takes over everything.
Yeah.
Just,
and then you abandon yourself as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that I think that's worse as well. Is everyone abandoning me and rejecting me was bad enough, but when I abandoned and rejected myself, that was a dark place to be in. You know what I mean?
I didn't like looking in the mirror.
Yeah, it was a very, very dark place to be in, and I'm just glad I'm not in that darkness no more.
Yeah, it is. It's cold and dark and
horrible. Lonely.
Absolutely horrible.
Lonely and painful and just complete misery in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It is. It's not fun, is it?
Nah.
It starts off as fun.
Yeah.
Then fun with problems, and then it just ends with problems.
You see, I'm a little bit different me with that, right? I'm never suicidal, because in my head, I walk my mind where if I top myself, I won't be able to use anymore, and that was a brutal fact on it. And it was things like I'd sooner take a pasting for a drug debt than actually pay it, and I used to demand it sometimes. You know what I mean? Wouldn't always get it that way, you know, but
You got there eventually.
Yeah.
You got there.
Yeah.
but I had no desire to die, but I had no desire to stop using drugs for so long either. You know, and I'm just so grateful today that I found recovery, and as much as it hurts me to say that I won't change anything when we all said no at the same time. And I feel deep regret for what I've put my family through.
That's where step 9.
I'd have never become who I am, well, the 2 man I am today, innit? 2 men. Yeah. Yeah, you can talk a cheeky game. But you know, it's just the person I am today. I'm actually proud of the person that I look at.
Yeah, I'm proud of you. Yeah.
And I've met some lovely people in recovery. I know it looks like they take piss out of me all the time, but I love them all like family, you know. And I've really found a sense of belonging in recovery, and it's been long overdue. So
That's what happens when you come into recovery.
Yeah.
You find an extended family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's one bound by similarities. And, you know, it's...
Fellowship.
Yeah.
Fellowship.
It's unity.
We all know what each other's feeling.
Yeah.
We're all keeping on each other. That's why I like coming here. That's why I knew I had to work here. I had to get a job here because I like being around addicts in recovery.
Each other's eyes and ears.
Yeah.
You know?
It's not a case of like out there, you haven't really got friends, have you? It's what people can get out of you and what we can get out of them. And it's just very selfish. But in here, we've all got that common goal of helping out each other to get better as a collective. And it's lovely. And want nothing in return. It's lovely. But we do get some in return, don't we? We get another day clean. Yeah, it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
Spiritual axiom.
Yeah, says.
That's why I encourage people to come to recovery, because you're all in that, you understand each other, don't you?
Yeah, we know what
when
pain,
you're by yourself
we know
and
what
your
pain
family, they don't understand your addiction, do they?
No.
They just see you as someone who's hurt these people, hurt them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas you're with like-minded people.
Yeah.
And that, I guess that's part of the healing process.
Well, for me, I won't be able to talk to anybody else about things that I've experienced, been through, done, you know what I mean? But with another addict, I can do that.
Because they've done the same.
Yeah.
They've done the
You know
same.
what I mean? There's no judgment here, whereas if I told some complete random on the street, they're going to be looking at me like, this guy's God. He needs straitjacket.
They don't understand why you've done what you've done.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
They don't understand them. Why should they have to understand it? I wouldn't want my worst enemy to have to go through what us lot have gone through with addiction. It's horrible.
You can't really explain it to them.
Yeah.
You can't.
But luckily for us, we've got
Each
people.
other.
Yeah.
And we have to rely on each other for that reason. You know what I mean?
If I'm having a bad day, I know I can phone James up, and I've got umpteen other people I can phone up if I'm having a bad day.
And we haven't got to like him to help him either, do we?
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If
that's
that
not
was the
required,
case, Keith...
He's my next door neighbour, right, across the road. He lives about 5 minutes away.
Not even that.
Sees me every day. You know, they say they don't like me, they put up with me.
Yeah.
That's where our acceptance and tolerance comes in.
Tolerance and what is our code, mate? You don't have to like you to help you.
Yeah.
You're just a bloke who lives on my estate.
That's it for today's episode. If you don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you've got any questions, feel free to drop a comment and we'll get back to you.
Goodbye.
Until the next time.